The science behind the integratron is based on electromagnetics. In his quarterly magazine Proceedings, Van Tassel describes the ongoing construction of the building to his followers. The armature, 55 feet in diameter, has been the most difficult part of this whole project. Requirements for anti-friction, expansion and contraction from heat and cold, and wet and dry conditions, have made this armature a mechanical wonder. 4 times larger in diameter than the largest armature ever built, it floats on 16 Teflon bearing blocks which are supplied with compressed air to float the armature on air. 120 pounds of air in each bearing block literally floats this 1700-pound spinner. The 64 aluminum collectors are about to be mounted on the spinner. The rotating armature was to be outfitted with 64 static collectors made of aluminum, capable of gathering 50,000 volts of static electricity from the air and delivering it to the cells of the participants inside. A large coiled copper wire running through the center of the building was also planned to aid conduction. Those undergoing the treatment were meant to receive this energy while stationed inside the machine, wearing all white outfits.
While Van Tassel revealed much about his plans for the integratron, he also kept many of the details necessary for completing the project to himself. Van Tassel died of a heart attack in 1978, although apparently those who knew him to be in good health found his passing suspicious. His epitaph supposedly read, "Birth through induction, death by short circuit." Lacking funds, the necessary blueprints for completion, and a charismatic leader, the integratron project soon stalled. The building was sold to a man who planned to turn it into a disco. It sat empty for years. Van Tassel's equipment disappeared, making it difficult to determine just how much of his vision he had constructed before his death. It was bought by 3 sisters in 2000 who opened the building to the public and now promote it as a place of healing as well as advertising its unusual acoustic properties. The musicians Moby and Jason Mraz have both recorded there.
A healing sound and bath session was fully booked with groups mixed with young, curious tourists. One gentleman from Los Angeles who confided this was his 4th visit, that after his first experience, he'd immediately booked again and again. Nobody there hoping to become younger, and not there for Van Tassel's hopeful, pseudo-scientific promises. But while the integratron appears to have transcended its original purpose, now a standard stopover for visitors to Joshua Tree National Park and day trippers from Palm Springs, it still seems to provide something else intangible and appealing to its many modern-day pilgrims. This kind of psychic architecture could be filling a basic, unmet need we all have relative to our mundane environments, a kind of, look over there, it's something pure. It's a kind of cosmic or psychic architecture, mused Craig Hodgetts, a professor and partner of Hodgetts Plus Fund Design and Architecture, when asked about the continuing popularity of Van Tassel's dome. Along with pyramids, he noted that domes are purported to have a kind of physical presence that's supposed to be transformative towards the spiritual, citing the Pantheon in Rome as well as the more modern geodesic domes of Buckminster Fuller.
A dome is a platonic solid, it has centrality, it focuses on the center, it's conceptually pure. So when we as travelers are drawn to the integratron's white dome rising out of the desert, or converge around Iampe's glass pyramid in the courtyard of the Louvre, Hodgetts suggests that kind of psychic architecture could be filling a basic, unmet need we all have relative to our more mundane environments, a kind of, look over there, it's something pure, he suggests. You have to take that dome as an article of faith that it works, he said of the integratron. So it reaches all the way back into prehistory with a need we all have for a reflection of some universal principles. It's a primitive thing. The current owners declined to be interviewed, saying, "We prefer that people glean their own experience directly." And while the integratron in its current state is far from what Van Tassel had envisioned, listening to a woman play a series of quartz bowls as part of a healing sound bath, in an acoustically perfect building designed for time travel and communication with extraterrestrials, still feels otherworldly.